name's Anapri Val, and here's my lesson plan for Univ. Today we're going to be learning about source context. Source context is a skill used to understand language, concepts, and terms. By contextualizing a source, it increases a writer's credibility by demonstrating the writer's willingness to understand the source. Context helps to engage the audience. Without it, the reader may not be able to see the true picture of the work. Next, I will show you a scenario of me breaking down well-known story, The Lorax.
Hi, I'm Context, and today I am here with The Source. Together we are going to use questions to break down the surrounding circumstance of the Lorax.
Hi, I'm The Source. In today's case, I am the Lorax. The first section of this interview will be about my writer, Dr. Seuss.
And who is Dr. Seuss?
He was a well-known American children's author, political cartoonist, illustrator, poet, animator, screenwriter, and filmmaker. Theodore Seuss wrote many popular books, part of everyone's childhood.
Now that we have background on Dr. Seuss, let's look at the period this book was written.
The Lorax was published in 1971. During this time, environmental issues weren't as known, until the San Francisco Bay oil spill initiated the start of many environmental groups.
Wow. Just if people listened to Dr. Seuss back then, maybe our environment would be in better shape. Now let's dive into the framing of the story.
This book was being published to the youth at the time, almost because the future of the earth relied on them. The purpose of the story is to warn the public about environmental destruction, the environment being the truffle of trees and the Lorax being activism.
That makes the story so clear in ways I've never thought before. Now let's talk audience. Who was this book written for?
Not only was this story obviously targeted at children, but I think Seuss's hopes were for the story to appeal to anyone who read it, spreading knowledge of potential environmental destruction, which is so much more apparent in this century rather than in 1971 when the book was released.
What perspective do you think Seuss used and why?
Dr. Seuss uses many different perspectives, mostly the sides of corporations and the side of environmental activists. By doing this, he gives the audience two different opinions to stand by, putting free will for them to decide what they believe.
Although this backpacks on the idea of framing, what do you think the agenda for this story is?
This text was meant to raise awareness to environmental issues, not only in general, but the popular quote from the movie, "Speak for the Trees," is targeting deforestation. By breaking down the Lorax, it allowed us to really understand Dr. Seuss's purpose and writing. Thank you for listening. I hope you really understand.
Speak for the trees.
Yeah, speak for the trees. Environment, yes.